Have you ever heard the phrase, debt is the root of all evil? Well, there's some truth to that. When you're drowning in real debt, your life can feel like it's on pause. Your debts don't wait for you. They grow every single day because nobody lends money for free. But despite this, the United States has embraced debt like a national pastime. Today, U.S. consumer debt is approaching $15 trillion, bringing the average household debt to more than $5,300. To put that into perspective, the U.S. economy, its GDP, is roughly $21 trillion. That means debt is almost as big as the entire economy itself. Depressing, maybe. But here's the twist. Debt isn't always bad. And today, you are going to see exactly why the wealthy love debt and how they use it to multiply their wealth while most people drown in it. So before we begin, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and let's get started. Let's be honest. Most of the debt people carry is bad debt. This type of debt takes money out of your pocket every single month. For the average person, debt is a chain. But for the wealthy, debt is a lever. Why the difference? Because most people borrow money to consume. Rich people borrow money to create. The rich use debt not to buy liabilities, but to acquire assets that pay them money every month. And once you see debt through that lens, your entire financial worldview will change. So let's break down exactly how wealthy individuals use debt as a tool, sometimes even as a weapon, to grow richer. Debt is the engine behind global business. It might sound strange, but almost every major trade transaction is driven by debt. Imagine you want to start a small business selling pens. Simple product, stable demand. Traditionally, you'd have to fly to China, visit factories, order a container of pens, ship them back, and then sell them. But here's the secret that big importers already know. You often don't need money to buy the products first. Factories in China, especially those on Alibaba or long-running industrial partners, have spent decades building global trust. They will often loan you their products with the expectation that you will pay them after you sell them. This is how commerce operates. The factory produces. You sell, you pay them later, and you keep the profit. You borrow more products, and you repeat. You didn't invest your own money. You invested your reputation and trust. This is the foundation of why selling is one of the most powerful financial skills in business. When done right, debt allows you to scale without cash. This is how wealthy business owners grow. No money tied up, low risk, high scalability, and constant reinvesting. The average person fears borrowing, but a seasoned entrepreneur sees debt as raw potential. Now let's get to the real game changer, real estate. This is the #1 way rich people use debt, not just responsibly, but strategically. Here's the misconception. The rich don't have mortgages. Wrong. The wealthy almost always have mortgages. Because mortgages come with tax deductions, low interest rates, asset growth, and cash flow potential. Let's walk through the classic method the wealthy use, the buy, renovate, and refinance strategy. Say you saved $200,000. That's a lot of money, but not enough to buy a house outright. So you find a fixer-upper for $500,000. You put 20% down, that's a $100,000 down payment, and you take out a $400,000 mortgage. Then you spend $50,000 renovating it. Now, the property's market value jumps to $700,000. Here's where the magic happens. You go back to the bank and refinance. 80% of $700,000 is $560,000. Out of this, $400,000 goes to pay off your first mortgage, and $50,000 covers your renovation. You walk away with $110,000 in profit. You used debt to make $110,000, acquire an appreciating asset, and build passive income. This is how real estate investors grow portfolios while regular people struggle with a single mortgage. Rich people don't just use debt in real estate. Hedge funds are built by the rich, for the rich. Their goal: to make rich people richer. While ordinary investors try to predict which stocks will rise, hedge funds often profit when companies collapse. This is done through short selling, a process that relies completely on borrowed assets. Here's how it works. Simplified. You borrow a stock from your broker. Let's say it's Facebook at $100 a share. You immediately sell it for $100. You wait. The price drops to $70. You buy it back for $70 and return the borrowed stock to your broker. You keep the $30 difference. You made money by borrowing. This is powerful, but also incredibly dangerous. If the stock doubles instead of falling, you still have to buy it back, at a massive loss. GameStop was the most famous case, where hedge funds lost over $13 billion because retail investors drove the price up. But with hundreds of analysts and millions in research budgets, hedge funds often use debt to squeeze profits out of the market at scale. The forex market, the global currency exchange market, runs almost entirely on leverage. It allows traders to borrow massive amounts of money relative to what they put in. For example, you deposit $1,000. The broker gives you leverage of 100 to 1. This means you control $100,000 of currency. If the currency moves just 1% in your direction, you earn $1,000, a 100% gain on your investment. Leverage, a form of debt, amplifies profits, but it also amplifies risk. If the market moves 1% the wrong way, you can lose your entire investment. Used strategically, leverage is a tool. Used emotionally, it becomes financial destruction. Debt itself is not the problem. Badly managed debt is your credit score is simply your debt management score. Banks have trillions of dollars waiting to be loaned. And believe it or not, banks can literally create money when they issue loans. This is why a strong credit score means opportunities, and a weak credit score means high interest and high risk. Every successful entrepreneur, business owner, and investor uses debt in some way to finance purchase orders, to buy equipment, to scale operations, to buy real estate, to leverage tax advantages. The key is simple. Debt used to buy assets is good debt. Debt used to buy liabilities is bad debt. Master that one rule, and your financial life will transform. So now you see the truth. Debt doesn't have to be the monster that ruins your life. For most people, it is, because they were never taught how to use it. But for the wealthy, debt is a lever, a shortcut, a multiplier, a tax advantage, and a wealth-building machine. Bad debt is slavery, but good debt is freedom. Thank you for watching. If you learned something new today, hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dive finance content. Comment below, do you think debt can be good? I'll see you in the next one.